Somewhere just down the beach, a child giggled. A small bonfire flickers, and barefoot dancers swirl with wind in their hair and sea foam on their ankles. There is no performance, it's only joy, just belonging, just the pulse of the heart coming home. This moon remembers the scent of a jasmine in your mother's garden, the way your first pet blinked at you like you were magic, the way your favorite mug fits in your hand when you have your first sip of your morning coffee. Home isn't walls. Home is the soul cozy nest. It's the quiet hug at the end of the long week. It's the soup on the stove, the music that feels like a hug, the heartbeat in your chest when you see someone you love and they are walking through the door. So nurture yourself in these little things. Tea that smells like honey and hope, soft socks, good books, slow dinners, and long hugs. Laugh with your children, tuck yourself into the kind of love that doesn't ask you to shrink. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Cosmic Insight Astrology, and I am your co-pilot, Krisztina. I'm happy you found me, and I'm also happy to be your co-pilot. Usually I mention that I'm being your co-pilot because I'm not willing to take over, the leadership in your life. You are responsible for your life. You have to seek for your power and own your power. It's very, very important. Whoever is giving you guidance, reading, they are there for you to navigate you, to help you overcome challenges or challenge in your life, or help you actually to activate potentials. But we are not here to fix, because you are not broken. We all grow and we all learn. And lately I'm very emotional. You can see that from my writings, guys. I'm very heartbroken for the world, because I am a person who is really pro peace and dignity and integrity and anything to do with values and morals, and I'm firmly standing in that. So at this moment, I'm very, very upset where we are heading in the world. All right, guys. We're going to talk about the new moon in Cancer today, and the new moon in Cancer going to happen on June 25th. So it is actually 2 days away. I'm doing late these videos because obviously I'm always behind. I had a 7-hour test on Saturday with headaches, so it was just like very intense. But all right, so this is actually going to happen in 4 degrees and 7 minutes. So we're going to check the Sabian symbol at 5 degrees, because you always going to increase the degree 1, right? So then we're going to talk about the aspect the moon going to make, because it's going to conjunct with exalted Jupiter, and it's going to make a square with Neptune in Aries and actually Saturn in Aries, and Saturn is in fall, so it's more malefic over there. And it's also going to sextile with Virgo, Mars in Virgo in 4 degrees. And we're also going to talk about multiple asteroids, and I wrote it over here. So we're gonna talk about Tijot Prior, because that is a fixed star, and asteroid Arachne, because it's in Libra 2 degrees, and it's squares with this moon because it's Cancer, so it squares. And also Gold, asteroid Gold, and Delphine also, it's in Cancer and conjunct the moon. It's going to actually trine with Jaume, and also it's going to square with Ati in Aries, and opposed to Hybris and Ixion in Capricorn. Okay, so here is my little note for you guys, and that's what we're going to talk about. If you know me, I talk a lot about mythology, and I talk a lot about the archetypal energy as well. Martin is making watermelon drink. Sorry about that. And when it's lunation, and I talk about lunation, then I also do a meditation as well, end of every full moon and every new moon. So stay with me and listen to the meditation. I wrote a beautiful treehouse meditation. Obviously, I keep writing treehouse meditation and ocean because that's one of my favorite, fireflies and hedgehogs and rabbits. And somehow I tend to go back right now in my childhood because I feel safer in my writing at this moment. So that's what we're going to actually talk about right now. Okay. But definitely, when I start to talk about the moon, we always talk about what is the new moon. It is, what does it represent? The energy itself, it's a new seed, it's a new beginning, and the archetype of the mother. Also the moon is your subconscious, your tears, your fears. That is the midwife, the mystic midwife. The cosmic womb. Actually, the cosmic womb and the eternal womb is more like Piscean energy. But in this case, because of the moon is nurturing, it's still the cosmic womb as well. Okay, who is playing Xbox? All right. And it rules the fourth house in astrology. And so I'm really, really obsessed with asteroids and fixed stars. And I'm also, usually I mention Sabian symbols as well. And, I truly, I'm being very radical honest. So I always going to actually bring in the negative and the positive in a reading as well. Because astrology is as above, so below, as within, so without. Like every single planet, every single houses, and planetary aspects also could be negative and very positive. Obviously, if there is multiple malefic planets or multiple malefic aspect, then it's not necessarily a lot of positive to bring in, but we will see. So right now, this new moon is a new beginning, right? And the moon is Luna, Selene, the lunar goddess, drives her silver chariot across the sky. So that's who she is. And she's beautiful, and she rules motherhood. And the moon is also the maternal magic as well, the maternal instinct as well. That is the way your real estate market, for example, it is the way of living, it's your family, right? The way you nurture your inner child and the way you are nurturing others. And right now, actually, it's going to sextile Mars in Virgo. And Mars is the warrior. Mars is actually um, someone who is going to fight for very, very initiative, that is brutal force. But in Virgo, Mars is the strategist. Mars is actually the sacred surgeon, because of Mars is also not only rules Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, but also Scorpio, and in Scorpio it's the blade, the surgical blade. So in Virgo it's very precise. So it's the sacred surgeon over there, the healer, the fixer, someone who wants to fix, nip tech, kind of situation over here. And Mars is definitely brute force, and clean cuts as well. But over here in Virgo, it's almost like bringing in healing through some kind of cut, some kind of, restoring actually balance somehow, using the sword to bring in healing. Yes, sometimes we need to get surgery, to get healed. And sometimes we're not only going to use herbal remedies, for example, to get healed. So that's definitely. But Mars is the brutal force. Mars is also bravery and courage as well. And also, it could be very, very. There is a lot of rage in Mars as well. But here, the rage actually could become some kind of remedy, because maybe the person with that Mars in Virgo going to work out every single day and going to find an outlet for that kind of brutal force, that kind of unleashed anger that we have lately inside. And Virgo rules the sixth house, it rules the daily routine. And Mars is activity, boxing or something, shadow boxing. And it's actually like all right, let's go box every day because of it's going to help me let rid of anger. So that's kind of Mars in Virgo, some kind of anger management situation, or you're going to sign up some kind of anger management. Because you're going to have some kind of ritual or routine, which is help you to become more calm with that, right? And then we also have over here a conjunction with exalted Jupiter. Jupiter is actually, the benevolent king and the spiritual provider. Jupiter rules daytime Sagittarius, and at nighttime in the 12th house, it rules Pisces, right? And it is over here in exalted position, and here it echoes the protector of the family, protector of the children, uh, it's actually not stranger over here. It's a guest, but it's a VIP guest, like everything is given to Jupiter in Cancer. There is emotional honesty, there is some kind of divine protection with that kind of new seeds you are planting. Many times new seeds not even coming to the seedling doesn't even sprout. But here you got like this little seed what you're going to plant, it's get divine protection because Jupiter is there and Jupiter is going to give that kind of protection over here. And because of the moon, Cancer, it's govern the nourishment and motherhood and, anything to do with homeland security. That could be, and Jupiter over here, it's sacred. That's why it's brings safety and emotional expansion. If Jupiter feels good, it's going to grow. So that's very important. And then we're going to also have, Jupiter is the blessed guardian over here, definitely the blessed guardian, someone who is the generous provider. Even if you are a single mother or single father, somehow you can find someone who is willing to help you, who is willing to get the orphans in, very, very compassionate, as I said, the protector, the breadwinner. You must eat before you go eat into the world. That's what it is. And Jupiter over here gonna feed you before you even going to start anything to become healthy and get energy. So that's what it is. And it's also going to square Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And we were talking about that. If there is a malefic planet, Neptune is an outer planet, all right? And it takes 164 years to go around the zodiacal cycle. And Saturn is actually, Neptune is not, it's an outer planet. Thank you, Martha. And Saturn is a social planet. And Saturn is the one who is the gatekeeper actually between the outer planet and the inner planet. And Saturn is the wall, the boundaries, okay? And it sets boundaries. And Saturn is your karma, the lord of karma. And Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, right? And that is the original, the ancient avatar of Aquarius. And right now it's co-rules with Uranus, right? And the archetype of Saturn is the task master, is someone actually, who is the gatekeeper, what I said. And Neptune is the visionary, the illusion is the dreamer. And Neptune actually helps with the underprivileged many, many times, but Neptune can have also the illusion, could actually make Neptune to push us to become numb ourselves with illusions, with denying the truth. But Saturn is kicking us in the teeth and says, no, you have to wake up. You need to set boundaries. You cannot allow them to use you. You demand respect for yourself. That's what Saturn whispering actually to Neptune during this time. And in mythology, Saturn is Kronos. Actually, it's his children, except Jupiter. And of course, he had to deal with the consequences after that. And Neptune is Poseidon, and Neptune is the god of the sea. Anything to do with illusions and anything to do with Neptune could be seduction as well, because of actually Neptune is the higher octave of love, the higher octave. Neptune is glamour also. So obviously, right now, this moon with Jupiter, it's squaring Neptune, Jupiter, Neptune core spicy. So there are a lot of things going to happen over here. And Neptune also could be some kind of psychic wish flash over there. And Aries, because both of them is placed in Aries right now, and I just scratch myself and I'm bleeding, but that's all right. And Aries is rules the first house of the zodiacal cycle and ruled by Mars, and it's very impatient. It's bold. It's sometimes the anger is misplaced. Sometimes the energy is very volatile because Aries could be courage to grow. Actually, Mars could be, but Mars also could be the raw, brutal force, the anger as well. All right, we need that for survival. We really need Mars. But Saturn in Aries says, prove your right to lead through actions. And actually, Neptune in Aries going to say, you don't need a plan, just leap. Neptune is very delusional and delusional there. Yes, but the square between them, it's like some kind of state where there is a lot of confusion. So a lot of people lately, I read that on Facebook and in comment section, like a lot of people say, like, what's going on? It feels like Mercury retrograde. So, that is Neptune influence on Saturn because Saturn is the taskmaster. And obviously in fall, it's very, very, um, it could be really not aggressive, but it could be frustrated. Frustrated, I wanted to find that word. And because of that, it could be more malefic. So, but definitely it could create some kind of energy like during Mercury retrograde. Obviously. And when we want to do the symbolic meaning of all of them, Cancer is the womb, wants to create and protect. And Mars in Virgo is the warrior healer, actually wants to act with purpose, right? And Jupiter is the sage who is going to say, like, if you rooted in care and compassion, you are ready to grow, and I will help you to expand and create abundance. And then, Saturn and Neptune over here in Aries is the skeptic and the seer together. Um, test your visions. It's like Saturn is forcing Neptune. Okay, is it illusion, delusion? Are you sure you saw a spirit, or you just hallucinating? That's the question. That's the quest over here. So, okay, how can it manifest for us? For example, the way it can manifest, it could manifest like they are. Okay, let's see, how can it manifest? You can commit actually to healing during this time, right? And make sure you are not a martyr. Because Neptune could be martyrdom as well, and it's not very attractive from Neptune. Saturn gonna bring clarity and pattern, so it's gonna say, okay, do you want to save the world? Don't go into the war like crazy and let them to bomb you. Make sure you have strategy to feed the poor. So that kind of situation. And many times Saturn in Aries, the battle is really, really internal over here, Uh, and yes, so then also we're going to talk about the Sabian symbol over here before we are going to go to the asteroids and the archetype over there. And the Sabian symbol, as I said, we have to go up to 5 degrees. Aries, and the 5 degrees Aries is an automobile actually wrecked by a train. So this is very, very heavy Sabian symbol over here. Something colliding, and two brutal force is colliding over here. In the collective momentum. And who survives depends on whether you still pretend or not, because you need to be awakened, right? So what is the automobile over here? The car representing actually your personal vehicle. That's your body. That's your what do you want in life actually? That's your ego. That's your small plans, your solo script. And then the train is the collective, that's the government, that's the history, that's fate, karma over there. Because actually the train, it's also Saturnian in astrology. So it's also, like anything to do with fate and karma and government. And the train usually not able to stop, even if, for example, my son goes with train to school, and every single morning, and he tells me like almost every day there is an accident with cars on the track, and it's a lot of death actually happening, like during the school year time. And because of somebody is crossing who is not paying attention, so the surviving is coming in this Sabian symbol. You're gonna crash if you are not looking, right? So that is obviously when you are crossing, you need to listen, you need to be in focus. And Neptune over there could be illusional, delusional, alcohol, drug abuse, whatever. You are out of your mind, the world is making you crazy, upset, you are crying, you don't see, and accident can happen. Um, but it is something with this Sabian symbol, it is something like the train usually make a honk before it comes and before it goes to an intersection. So actually it reminds you it's coming. So there could be a danger out there, but it's reminding you to it's coming. It is just depend on you how self concerned you are or occupied. Then do you hear the horn actually? Okay, so can you stop or not? Something is dangerous there. You've been reminded, you've been told to not to do, and if you still do it, you can get in danger. But if you are listening, your gut feeling, the horn, then you are actually can go around the danger, and then we're going to survive that kind of incident, because it is something what is actually predictable. And then we have to talk about other things, and we're going to talk about Arachna. And Arachna is in 2 degrees Libra. All right, so Arachne is the web maker, right? So in mythology, she was really gifted, and but she was actually a mortal who dared actually to woven together a story of the goddess of Athena, and actually she showed in her tapestry all the abuse what the gods created, and that's why she was punished, and actually she was turned into a spider. Hmm. So that is very, very important, guys, because there is a lot of female, Arachne female out there who dare to speak. Candice Owen, I keep saying that. She keeps threatening Whitney Webb. There is a lot of female who keeps talking, even me. And it could be like they are punished because they are telling the truth. All right. So they can feel some kind of backlash, fear, some kind of fear threatening, because of they speak out. And the powerful people are not going to like that. They're going to obviously want to silence the truth, right? So it could represent like you may going to actually stop what you are doing, or I, because of they want to people please, or not necessarily people please, but they are afraid to break the rules, for example. All right. So the moon is going to ask us over here, what are you waving? Are you waving a line, or are you waving the truth? So many of them still going to say the truth, I know. And that's why I love them and I stand with them. But a lot of people are going to stop saying the truth because they're going to be a threat. They're going to cancel their social account, their YouTube channel, and things like that. And there is also another square happening over here, and that's Ate in Aries. We were talking about Ate many times, right? But Ate is actually it is a reckless goddess, and takes actions right away without thinking, and very, very judgmental. as well, but also because of taking actions fast without thinking, it is clothes the judgment. And that's why pushes people into choices that lead to their downfall. So ate could be, like downfall because of pride is involved over here. You might say something in anger and you're going to regret it, or you might rush into a fight or a breakup or a divorce, and the decision is like absolutely gonna be devastating later on. Definitely, it could be very confusing because of is it courageous to go to do something, and the reaction, is it courageous or is it coming from fear or anger or frustration? So that's what it is here. So you definitely have to stop and breathe through, and before you take any action, just breathe and count till hundreds if you must. And there is actually also an opposition between Ixion and also between Hybris as well, and both of them in Capricorn. And actually, Ixion is betrayer without consequences because Ixion killed his father-in-law and was forgiven by Zeus, then tried to actually seduce Hera. So, he got his punishment because he was tied to a spinning wheel in the sky as eternal punishment. So that's big. So actually, what it's going to say over here, because it's betrayer, right? It's betrayer, and the first time it was without any kind of consequences. So someone, a leader perhaps, going on without consequences. There is a lot of betrayal of people, but eventually, because they do betrayers over and over again, like actually, I can think of the O.J. Simpson case because he was not convicted for the kill of his wife, but later on he got convicted because of tax issues or something like that. So eventually he went in jail. All right, so something like that. Somebody who should be convicted and in jail and in prison, that person with something else going to actually get caught and pay the consequences because at the first they let them off from the hook. It's multiplayer people over there. And then also it's going to oppose to Hybris in Capricorn as well. And Hybris is actually someone who is falling from pride. All right. So there is a lot of proud people out there who are arrogant and overreach, and and they tempt people into thinking they are above the law, they are untouchable, they are divine, they are um, chosen, they are, like whatever you want to say, but they are different breed. They are superior to all and rest of us. So those people actually going to fall because of the pride. It's gonna make them to fall. They're gonna make mistake after mistake, and it's irreversible, right? So yes, that is the arrogance and the overreach over here. So as I said, a secret may be exposed, and it has to be some, and not just one, but some of the public figures, and maybe presidents over there. Um, but it also going to conjunct with Tejet Prior, that is actually the final blow over here because Tejet is a fixed star and it's associated with ending cycles, right? It's delivering actually a final kick for us and puts everything in motion, right? Like everything is on the edge, but somehow the ball doesn't go into the cliff yet. So somebody needs to push it. Somebody, needs to kick them in the back, and that's what's gonna come right now. And so we will see, but I truly think there is a lot of whistleblowers coming out, or actually, it's gonna be a lot of cyber attacks. You will see, guys. I told you from years already. I told you this year gonna be very, very heavy. We are already in third world free, if you deny it or not, but we are. Unfortunately, it's going on for a while, but obviously, right now with what's happening in Middle East, it is like I mean, that is just like I don't know. I'm sick in my stomach. It's terrible. It is just terrible. But all right, so what's going to happen over here? So that's Tejet Prior, the fixer, it's going to give the final kick. And then everything going to get rolled in motion. All right, and then also we're going to have, by the way, asteroid gold also actually in Cancer at 2 degrees. So it's going to conjunct with asteroid gold. And because Jupiter is over there as well, somehow, even if they found right now in Africa a tremendous amount of gold and mined, but it's still going to raise the value of gold. Why? Because of 70% of the oil is coming from that little area where it's Iran, that little canal. And because of that, they are starting to bomb over there. So it's going to rise the price of the oil. It's going to rise the stock oil price as well. And it's going to rise the oil, the gas that we put in the car. So that's going to be traumatic. And then because of that, because Tesla, what's his name? Elon Musk has Cancer stellium, and Tesla, the car Tesla also have that in the 11th house, I think, let me check, a stellium in Cancer, that the anything to do with electric cars and Uranus gonna go to Gemini, it's gonna rise the value of that because of the oil. And because of the oil is actually also base of the economy, it's depend how is the dollar gonna be. US dollar has a Saturn return, it's gonna be crap like within a year, and the gold price is going to grow. So you will see that, but somehow Tesla gonna come back because of this. And any kind of electric cars. Right now I checked Lucid, and Lucid actually it's really, really good as well. I'm gonna check later on Tesla, yes. So, but the value of the gold is actually could increase definitely. And the wealth itself, Jupiter is expanding, and it says if you really invested in your roots, in your family, you know yourself, you know where you belong from, you stay in the truth, that's then it's going to increase as well. And during a war time, actually, people are more, families are more connected to each other's. You will see that as well. Right now, family values and history are gonna be very, very important. For example, I'm very scared. I was talking to Krasi, and if you saw that video also, because Persia, actually, Iran became Iran in 1929, and before that they were Persia, and they had art from 2000 years. It's like their art and their history is incredible. It's beautiful. And I'm really scared because of this bombing and everything. It's going to disappear because Neptune is art and Saturn over there is history, but it's in Aries. So some kind of war-related situation could destroy or decrease actually sacred arts around the world, right? So that's what's happening. Or maybe a lot of fire as well, because of, Neptune is also in Aries going to increase the temperature of the oceans, and, it could create hurricanes. Saturn is dryness as well. So we will talk about that, how else can it unfold as well, but it could create a lot of wood fire. Saturn could be wood as well, the lumber, and it could create a lot of wood fire as well. So yes, but the gold itself and the oil, it's going to rise as obviously. And then, Delphine, because there is asteroid Delphine as well. Oh my God, I worked so much today and I'm drinking and all right, that is actually sacred protection and protection of the ocean as well, right? And sacred protection. So, because of there is also conjunct with gold and gold hearted, also, it could be that, or delphine, which is like delphine, also, which is like sacred protection as well. So, we are actually protecting our loved ones, and that's going to be very, very sacred. And that is also the intuition. It is anything to do with the guardianship, with the white feminine. You may remember something sacred, but you forget before, but right now you start to remember again. And also what we have to talk about, that is also going to trine with, yes, it's going to actually trine with Haumea in Scorpio. And you know what, that is a Hawaiian goddess, and she was giving birth to volcano, and she is the midwife, fertility, and rebirth. So, it is a really, really sacred force over here through transformation, phoenix effect. So obviously, there we're going to experience a lot of volcano. What is that? Eruptions. And right now I was reading, and actually, they say the super volcano could get again and somehow get some kind of eruption again. So we don't want that, because that is really scary, because it could affect like 7 states in the US and also in Canada. So we don't want that from the super volcano, but there is going to be a lot of volcanic activity. But what's happening when ash is coming? New life. So Dr. Wallach, actually, I told about him many times, and I had the pleasure to meet him, talk to him, and had workshops with him. He's the author. He's actually a doctor, and he did like, I don't know, 20,000 of autopsy, and not just on humans but animals as well. And he said, because of before we had actually fire place, and we were heating our house with wood, and the wood or the coal ashes went out in the garden, and it's actually gave a lot of mineral to the garden, so we were not mineral deficients actually. But the volcanic ashes is also very, very fertile. So that's why Haume is really, really fertile, and it brings in new life. Obviously, its ashes, it first cleans and kills everything, but then it's new life and more valuable. I mean, more valuable. You cannot say that, but more fertile the land, and positive change definitely after that major transformation with actually the trine with Haume in Scorpio. You know, from the life is emerging actually from loss and death and the transformation, and it also could be interpreted like we are experience a lot of scorpionic energy, a lot of loss, right? We feel like there is a absolutely apocalyptic situation happening right now. But because of there is Cancer new moon and it's a trine, the divine feminine over here, it's very nurturing. Together, we are capable to go against actually, and the leaders going to start to fall. Don't forget, we started to have the Uranus Mars synodic cycle in April 2020. No, we had it Uranus Mars right now on Algol in April this year, when Trump got shot or whatever. So yes, but or maybe it was in June. And right now we had the square, and in August, September we're gonna have an opposition. So it keeps continuing, right? Until it's gonna go back to conjunction again. And what's happening over here? So that is always going to trigger the same point over there, where it's the synodic cycle started. So because it was on Algol, and obviously it's squared with JD events and a lot of people, um, Pride, which is like Trump as well, and King Charles is also Leo rising. So there is a lot of people who are Leo rising, and they are politicians, and it's squared with them. So obviously it could be a fall from throne for multiple, leaders there. So the synodic cycle. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. So that is definitely going to be grief, but it's gonna call for something new to be born. And the new moon itself, it's a new seed and burning. The trauma is right now surfacing. It was hidden. Scorpio, it was really hidden, but the volcanic eruption, Jaume, it's coming to surface and we cannot take it anymore. And that's why right now we capable, if you know what you are dealing with, you're capable to fight against. If you don't know who is hidden enemies, I hate because you don't know then what you are dealing with. Yes. So, but then let's see some kind of geopolitical situation, what can happen during this time, right? Because we always wanted to have some kind of mundane here as well. And for example, political situation, war around us, and it could be because it's squaring with Arachne, and actually the square to Arachne could actually represent something with media and local communication and news. And the new moon itself, it's going to be like, okay, we need to say the truth over here, and Arachne is going to force the news to say the truth, or maybe not even like oh my God, consciously going to show it, but accidentally going to show some kind of truth because the camera is still on, and it's gonna leak out, and then it is going to create some kind of change, and we want to fight against, and definitely it could be like that. But also, it could be something to do with for example, Palestine pipeline, and anything to do, if they still have anything, or the Iranian pipeline, it could actually somehow uh, explosion of the pipeline, and then it could be some kind of tragedy over there, obviously. But then it could be also something to do with military overreach, and that could go to instant war. Right now we already have it with Iran, and but also, guys, don't forget Gaza still there, and we are not talking about Gaza anymore. There is a total invasion right now, and it is obviously ground invasion, which is even worse sometimes. So I think right now Gazan people are going to obviously suffer more, because if you see where is the moon and Pluto is going on their moon, it could be very, very devastating for them. But yes, so that could be some kind of military overreach right now. And because of it's also the Cancer moon is squaring with Ate. And also it could be something with election cover up as well. And it could be, because Ixion and Hybris is opposing this new moon. So the headline is going to report some kind of error found actually in presidential campaign feeling, and it's gonna come out. And it's not necessarily the US, but anywhere else on the world, right? So some kind of secret recording comes out, because I told you guys we're going to have a lot of cyber attack. And actually, Iran already could create some kind of cyber attack on US because of the True Social Trump social website is off, and it was broken in somehow. So right now we're going to be able to follow the dark money. Where did it go? Offshore account, or like Epstein file could get leaked. Mm, obviously. So yeah, that could be an election scandal happening. And also, the Panama Papers, anything to do with the Panama Channel over there, or the laundering money, and who are the ghost donors of the U.S., for example, or who is the ghost donors of in South America and in Europe. So that's gonna happen, guys. And also, there is going to be border strike as well in Israel and Turkey and China. Obviously, China and Turkey and even Pakistan and India and Russia is against the US. And in the 1800s, when we had the Opium War, and we had Korea, China, and Russia, and who else? Iran together. then they won against the US. And because of the US, we're going to have Uranus return in the US. We're going to have a civil war inside, obviously. That's why the government going to be weakened. And I know they have to send military to the Middle East and they're supporting Israel, obviously. And then they want to go against illegal immigration or whatever they call it. But, they have militarized everything. So, they're not going to be able to focus anymore. So that's there. And yes, the election cover up, and also there could be some kind of, because hybris actually also because it's some kind of new global ethnic doctrine, for example, right? So that is a rightful foreign policy, what's going to echo the opposition with hybris over here. Something to do with the hybris energy over here. It's like something is rotten in the system, right? Something has and claiming a moral superior position, right? A government, a leadership. I don't care. This is me. I told you, my children and my people what do they have to do if you take me out? We going to get rid of your country. So that's what we heard in the news. That was also very sick, insane. There could be also uh, during this time, a lot of journalists, for example, Dave Smith, Tucker, Candice, and like I thank you so much, however, guys, also to recommending me channels, because two of you recommended new people, I know, and I started to watch them, and thank you because I learned already a lot. So if you have any good books and any good channels, which is unbiased, because I don't want to totally go against, like I want to stay on the right side all the time. And I want to be here for the greater good. So, but if you are finding something amazing to read or to watch, I am ready to watch it. I also want to tell you, I did watch all the Trump documentaries, and right now, guess what I watched? I watched the Benzion Milikovsky's fire, the BB fire, and it's 2 hours, and it's worth to watch. Oh my God, how much corruption! It is unbelievable. How can they start a war just to actually, uh, like make sure they're not gonna go to prison? This is unbelievable. All right. So there could be also something to do with a nation issue, a global humanitarian manifesto calling on other countries to end war, but actually they are doing some kind of environmental harm, or secretly they are providing arms for the countries who are fighting. And definitely there are going to be, as I said, a lot of journalists who are going to actually uncover some kind of truth, and they're going to like uh, become target, for example, and they might going to have to publicly seek for asylum as well, in European countries. So I think maybe Candice Owen from Nashville gonna go to England, perhaps. Mm. Yes, and there is gonna be a lot of document leaking somehow, as I said. And also, the final blow over here, we were talking about Tejet as well, right? And that could be some kind of breach in surveillance. It could be some kind of breach in social accounts. So a lot of data could actually disappear during this time. Digital ID system, like actually that is going to be like something from governments coming out. But I don't know if you heard that they had a meeting and only 31 elite people, and Bezos was there, and Elon Musk was not invited, but the richest of the richest people, the BlackRock, Larry Fink, and Rockefellers were this meeting in Switzerland or in Sweden, and obviously they are making decisions of the life of us, because we are the pawn for them, and it could be like the whole entire meeting was recorded and somehow it's going to get leaked and we're going to know about their big plan, big depopulation plan, for example. Yes, but on the other hand, Neptune could be something to do with weather disasters, guys. For example, Saturn in Aries, it could be dryness and heat and fire, and Neptune in Aries, it could actually increase the water temperature and it could create hurricanes, especially because North Node's still in Pisces until not end, but middle of next year. But we're still gonna have a Pisces eclipse in 4 degrees in 2026, August 28. So we're going to have very, very high hurricane season. And, yeah, so that's definitely there for us. But, for example, because it's also trine with Haume and Haumea, and, it is something to do with a mid-sized island because that is Hawaii. Actually, something could happen in Hawaii. It could be flooded by, like a hurricane or some kind of, not necessarily tsunami, but it could be some kind of bigger storm coming because that is a Hawaiian goddess and it's involved right now. But there could be also like some kind of government officials going to dismiss to actually notice before a big hurricane is coming, or they're gonna say like, okay, the weather channel, because they're defunding also the hurricane weather channel, and they are not going to be able to tell us how dangerous is the hurricane and if we have to evacuate or not, or the evacuation going to come very late and people cannot move, and it could create like definitely a huge disaster. So, for example, Mississippi River Basin and the South Asia plains, and in Central Europe, there could be also major flooding as well. And the flood always representing, okay, I was spoken before, I told you what's coming and you didn't listen, so I have to wake you up with some kind of disaster over here because you're gonna be more compassionate. Many times I say that, flood, the water, the great flood, Noah's Ark, the great flood, right? It is washing away the sin of the humans. So the water for me always representing, the holy water representing the washing the sin away. Uh, yes, and there is also, because of the mystic frame over here with, Arachne, it's somebody going to expose the truth about the leaders, a storyteller, someone who has all the documentation and just gonna let it go, and it could bring in major downfall of leaders. Yes. So what other thing can happen also? Infrastructure failure as well, because of we have the square with Arachne and the square with Ati as well. And it's some kind of self-sabotaging scenario over here. The storm makes landfall and we don't have drainage, and obviously it was because they spent the money or they stole the money and they didn't put that in to improve something in Florida, what they should improve for public safety. So it could happen as well. Yes, and then it could be something to do with oil spill because of Haumea, also Scorpio. Scorpio is something from drilling, right? Drip drilling, and it's also sextile with Mars in Virgo. So it could be some kind of new laws actually through broken ecosystem, but it is going to something to do with the offshore oil drilling because of that it's going to be a huge fishing economic collapse and sea life dies because of there is oil all over. So Gulf of Mexico, the South China Sea, and also the Arctic zones. Don't forget that's why Trump wants to have Greenland, because of we do have something under there, the big ice, what they see, and it's good to actually, that resource is great for them, right? So, for example, Iran has a tremendous amount of oil and tremendous amount of uranium, obviously. Gaza has a lot of natural gas, obviously. I mean, so it's all power, guys. It's all money, and they are bloody thirsty. They don't care about your life or my life or anybody. They don't care about each other's life. They just, pairing up. When they are lying, but next day they can kill each other. So obviously this is. I feel like I'm in Star Wars or no, not even Star Wars. What is the dragon movie? I always forget the dragon movie, but they keep killing everyone over there, and that's what's happening right now, which is like absolutely a tragedy over here. But the good side here, I mean, health and safety going to be also under magnifying glassing as well, because of this is a cancer wound, anything to do with immune therapy or anything to do with hormonal treatment, because cancer motherhood as well. And you know what we're gonna find out maybe, because it's actually opposing hybris and Ixion over here, hybris and Ixion. It could be something to do with the COVID vaccine or any kind of vaccination, like maybe there is the side effects right now it's coming out, or there is some kind of cover up coming out, and we will learn about that, and we will know the real death from, for example, side effect of vaccination as well. So that could be as well, but there could be also the moon also can say like, okay, that's real medicine requires real accountability, and let's not speed the market. Let's save or people or family. And yes, there is something which could come up with cancer treatment or immune therapy during this time, and it could be actually positive as well. So it's not all bad, and especially because it's conjunct Jupiter, and as I said, if it's rooted well, it's going to expand and it's gonna be magnificent, it's gonna be great. For example, it could be because of it's also, as I said, it squares with Arachne. It could be something to do with anxiety. And why is that so much anxiety between teens, for example? Because of social media. And the government response actually for youth mental health is going to be very, very concerning. Or they're gonna say the youth mental health is a concern right now. The suicide rates is going up. And what is the some kind of grassroots over here with teachers and parents and, the teenagers, and how can we help them and how can we actually educate them, mental health education. But, the budget not gonna be given for them. So because it's a square, so somehow the budget is taking away, and the children will scream louder than anything else, so they're going to actually scream for help. Yes, and then we can also have the pharmaceuticals, because of it squares with Ati, and there could be something to do. And it's also squares with Neptune. Neptune is pharmaceutical. We have to talk about drugs over here, obviously, and anything to do with pharmaceuticals. It could be like, all right, the weight loss medicines not gonna be available anymore because Saturn, Neptune, and obviously Venus in Pisces is exalted, so that's weight loss, right? It's eating and beauty and weight loss medicine. And right now Venus is not over there, but Neptune is, and Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. So obviously, diabetic medicine could be out of stock, or weight loss medicine, something like that could be as well. Yes, and hmm. Well, Saturn Neptune, and it's gonna square with this moon, and this new moon is going to unfold within half year. So it's definitely by the full moon in Cancer, we're going to see a lot of things what I was talking about. But it could be something to do with mm, pharma stocks could actually suffer right now. Insurances in the US, or insurance companies also could actually suffer during this time, and they can have a lot of lawsuit. Actually, insurances could have a lot of lawsuit right now. It can collapse right now. All right. And then what else could be? We might going to need health passport again because of Saturn Neptune could be a new virus coming. And it's going to be actually mandatory at first, and then later on it could be hacked and, millions of profiles going to be sold and, sensitive data can get actually leaked out. So obviously that's what they want. They want to have digital passport. They want to have Bitcoin because then they can totally control us with everything, and we have to fight against this. And the moon is nurturing, and it is like, all right, and Jupiter is over there. Just keep doing what you are doing. Nurture yourself, nurture your family, educate your family, stay authentic. And then you can actually fight away against this curriculum, this propaganda, whatever they try to do that with, they also go, because Saturn is history, they also going to try to rewrite actually the textbooks, the history books, they're going to actually lie in that. They're going to take out from slavery gonna be minimized in that, or genocide going to be renamed like territorial conflicts, or everything. If you were reading anything from Chomsky, Noah Chomsky, oh my God, he was the one who said, careful how you are actually wording things, because that's gonna be like, Uranus gonna go to Gemini, the way of wording, the way of talking, Pluto in Aquarius, it's trining, going to change, AI coming in as well in our life, and a lot of people use AI even to write a simple comments, which makes me really, really upset and annoyed, but whatever. But the thing is over here, like they're going to choose first some kind of internet war. People going against each other's, everybody gonna hate each other's, and also there it's going to be which book going to be forbidden. Like a lot of people, it's gonna be censored. Books are gonna be censored, and definitely even in history and in childhood education, it's gonna be taking out, or deleted political, historical events. Going to be entirely deleted as well. But it could get a massive academic backlash, guys, because of this young generation, this youth who is going 22 years old, 20 years old, who are in university right now, they are not going to take this, right? It's like this authoritarianism. They're just not going to this dictatorship that really. I mean, oh my God, I can't even, that kind of fascist kind of movements, they are not going to take it, and they're going to talk up. Look at the universities around the world. It is like, come on, they are talking out, and I'm very, very proud of them. They don't care if they're going to lose their diplomas. Eventually they're going to get it back, nothing less forever. But yeah, it could be also like when they're gonna talk about the this World War Second or First or whatever, they're totally gonna rebrand the whole entire history and lie, and or take out whatever part and manipulate the text itself. Yes. Uh, all right. But there it's going to be a lot of unrest on the campus is because Arachne is over there, and Arachne is the weaver who is talking the truth. So the children, this youth, going to talk about climate change and going to demand actually, the universities to stand up for their rights as well. So they're not going to get an inch and give in an inch as well. So they're going to be the defenders actually of academic ethics, and I love that. Anything to do with Harvard, Oxford, legacy wealth of the universities. It's very, very important. All right, and then we're going to go. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention over here, the free speech, because Saturn, Neptune squaring, Jupiter and the moon is the public itself, and then the public going to be either people who are Neptunian, who are actually talking about spirituality, Saturn is censorship, not gonna reach the public. So there it's going to be a lot of account going to be deleted. Mm. Somehow or not monetized anymore, right? It could be also like they just stop monetizing the people who it mention anything about wars or against Trump or whatever. That's what he wants, and then they're gonna get restrained, right? Because they will feel like it's provocation against them. All right. Uh, Okay, let's talk about each individual sign, guys, over here. And we're going to talk about Aries. I don't even need my little wheel because of Aries rising. It's going to happen in your fourth house, the moon itself. It's going to happen in your fourth house. And fourth house, everything to do with your emotional safety. It's your homeland, it's your real estate market, it's your family, it's your root, it is the environment, the home environment, your living situation. It is also funerals and endings, my darlings. You have to know that as well. So, whatever, wherever you live, no, like no longer actually holds your soul. Where the lease ends, it's just going to come up and knock on your door and say, let me go, or I let you go. And you move out, or, it is like you can also during this time uh, buy a new home, which will feel very, very cozy and zen, and it's going to feel like home. And not the walls, but maybe because of you're going to go back to a childhood memory with the new home, what you are buying. You can actually rewrite your story, of your upbringing. And how can you do that? For example, you let go of guilt that you carried for a long time, and you might have some kind of generational trauma that you were silenced about, and right now just gonna let it go, and right now you are ready to get healed. So it could be like a family retreat, it could be a family healing as well together, right? uh, and obviously, it's squaring with Saturn and Neptune for you guys. So that definitely that is a warning over here. You have to listen, and the growth has to come from a pressure from inside and grow. From inside to out actually. But and also because Neptune and Saturn over there could be also like, all right, you need some kind of renovation of the home, but how much money do you want to spend? Saturn says, don't spend a lot of money, and Neptune says, oh, I'm so dreamy and I want glamour. So it could happen as well. You can find your biological family and rewrite your history, or in case it could be also you can get pregnant even if it doesn't happening in your fifth or eighth house, a new family member, and adoption. Jupiter is adoption, so you might gonna adopt someone. And the moon itself could be a dog as well, so you either adopt a human baby or a dog baby, a fur baby. But it could be positive in this way. But definitely Saturn and Neptune and Ati and Arachne is like, careful what you are saying to your family. You might not have to tell everything to your mother and father what you are doing, because you can make them upset. Let them to live in illusion. Taurus rising, sun and moon, it's going to happen in your third house. Third house is niece, nephews, younger siblings. It is the familiar, it's your neighborhood, it's your community, it is your car, it's your computer, your anything to do with workshops and schools and elementary schools over here. So, it could be like, okay, you're going to have a new contract, a new message. You might going to actually be able to create an online workshop and start to teach, or definitely there is some kind of situation coming in, a new seed with a new neighbor or sibling, but careful because of you might gonna create a new friend with a neighbor or become friend again with your sibling, but Saturn Neptune says, hey, it's illusional. You have unexpected illusions about your those people, and and um, it's not gonna work somehow. You are giving another chance, but they're gonna fall back again to use drugs or to lie again, kind of situation. But otherwise, you can start reclaim your voice through podcast and journalism. You can start to write, or definitely it's going to be very empowering, but through words and through your brain mechanism, you might going to learn something. And it could be something like you have to unlearn some kind of lie what you've been told to, because that's going to bring peace into your life as well. All right, Gemini rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your second house, the new moon. And actually, the second house is your self-worth, that is your morals, that is anything to do with financial security, comfort zone, that is a gift, actually a sidekick job, a gift, what you are learning, and you can make money with it. And it is, you can have a sidekick job, for example, which is going to have a new income for you. Your value system is going to change. And actually it's going to be really nourishing for your soul. You're gonna value yourself. It could be something like you start to dog sit or babysit, for example, right? Because it's the new moon, and the moon itself doghood, and the Cancer it's motherhood, and about children as well, or the teaching, like what is that when you're teaching children, tutoring children. Yes, so it could be that as well, but you're doing something which is going to give you emotional safety because of your money is increasing, right? And if you actually have the gig that is doesn't serve you anymore, you're going to get rid of that, and you're going to have a new something, like a new gig over there, which is you can monetize that money, and you feel called to that kind of new gig, anything to do with cooking, healing, caregiving, writing, and you're gonna have financial growth from that, but also emotional growth as well. Something to do with people pleasing, but it's going to create profit for you guys, and the income going to reflect your birth. All right, then Cancer rising sun and moon is going to happen in your first house. First house, anything to do with yourself, the mask what you wear, the way you pretend, the way you represent your company and yourself, for example. That's your vitality, and it is going to reset personal and cellular and bone deep reset over here. uh, that is everything about, like I have to feel actually raw and sacred and alive, and I'm going to return actually to my authentic core. I don't need this custom that somebody's else custom. I don't need that anymore. There is a new rhythm, a new haircut, a new wardrobe, for example. You might gonna change your name. You're going to step performing for other people's comfort. So that's very, very important. And that's also could be some kind of health awakening. You stop eating crap, to numb yourself, or drinking, and you will feel like, yes, uh, being seen and speaking is like really matter, and I am matter to people over here. And it's trends to Scorpios and Pisces, obviously. And Jupiter is exalted, so you are the golden child of the zodiac over here. And you're going to actually visit your dreamland, and you're going to have a lot of vivid dreams and very deep. It could be a lot of intuition coming to you as well. But it is opposing in Capricorn with the asteroid Hybris and Ixion. There could be some kind of relationship confrontation for you guys. You are not mirroring, you are not projecting anymore. You're done, and you want to serve yourself. Leo rising sun and moon, it's gonna happen actually in your 12th house. in Cancer, right? The new moon, and the 12th has anything to do with, retreats, hidden healing, subconscious, endings, eternal womb, unprivileged, it's hospice, hospitals, hotels, orphanages, jail as well, obviously. So some of you might get out from jail, for example, or some of you might gonna get into jail, because of its obviously opposing Ixion and Hybris and its squares with Arachne and Ate, maybe because you told the truth, and you're just gonna go one day to jail. It could happen, yes. And I have my moon is in Leo, so hopefully it's not gonna happen with me, but and I don't wish that on anyone, but obviously I'm talking the truth and I could be questioned, right? So yes, but there is some kind of hidden fear and self-sabotaging pattern that you actually can get rid of, and you can have a new seed in. So you are healing over here, and you are letting go of some kind of uh, maybe some kind of conflict with mother as well. You need to meditate more. You need some kind of grief ritual, and you can actually have some kind of solo creative retreat on your own. You say, I have enough from everything, and I just gonna go. And it's going to. If you have Pisces placement in 4 degrees, up to 3 degrees, so from 1 degree to 7, for example, it's very, very auspicious. And my sun is in 4 degrees Pisces. So this moon actually trining with me, and it's also trining, creating a grand trine with Uranus in Scorpio for me. So obviously, this is a lot of healing for me and getting rid of, emotional shutdown. But I do have obviously, like Leo moon. So I'm watching that emotional healing for myself. But that's what's happening for you guys, for Leos as well. You can heal insomnia or anxiety or anything to do with, yeah, like self-sabotaging behavior, to let go that. And then Virgo rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your 11th house. 11th house is your social, political, and visionary house, your dreams and goals, and that's money from your career as well, that gathers the friends together over here. So you may going to reconnect with a group, right? And maybe you thought they are forgotten you, or you break ties with a community that no longer reflects your values anymore. So you were holding to a dream, and you let it go because it didn't serve you back time, and right now that dream can coming back, and a voice going to say that, okay, you can start again. It's not too late. Go to create a non-profit, a platform, start a school, start to collaborate with others. You can start a crowdfund as well. Some kind of unexpected support, a new cycle, a new circle could come in for you. And you can become a caretaker. You can create some kind of amazing app or platform, obviously, for caretakers, or anything to do with create also a housing market app like Zillow. Why not? Uh, but it's going to oppose Hybris and Dixion and square with Ate, so there is some kind of friend who can actually betray you as well. So careful. Libra rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your 10th house. 10th house is your career, authority themes, anything to do with your reputation, your social image, right? And you're going to feel some kind of tension over here because you want to succeed, but also the family might going to need you at the same time. So you have to choose between family because it's opposing Ixion in Hebrews and success. You might going to outgrow your public image. You were a leader. You were an attorney in a firm, and right now you become a mother, and you can afford to leave your job and just raise your child, for example. It could be also some kind of promotion, some kind of new opportunity for you, which could actually lead you to become a leader, a CEO right now. But it could be something with grief work, with family work, like you are opening up a school, or you're gonna be the professor leader of the university, things like that. And also it could be like uh, you, as I said, you might gonna walk away actually from some kind of big position because of you are expecting a baby and family is matter to you and you don't want anyone else to raise your child. Yes. Then Scorpio rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your ninth house. Ninth house, anything to do with belief system, philosophy, it is publishing, it is traveling, it is spiritual direction, it is your older siblings, it is anything to do with foreign matters and your visas, your cards, things like that. So what's gonna happen for you, Scorpios, over here? So it's a new seed, it's a new belief system might going to actually happen for you. You're going to maybe convert to another religion. You can also start publishing your book or start a YouTube channel, for example. There is a new ideology, or you are going to change maybe schools, like you were in school, in university, but during the summer, you're going to enroll in a new school, for example. Mm, sorry. Because of you no longer feel welcome in your school, and it could be something to do with you want to have a new visa, you want to go foreign country, and somehow your visa going to get rejected, or you're going to get some kind of black book deals. But because it's a new moon, it's gonna come to fruition within 6 months right now because of the opposition with Ixionid Hybris. It's just gonna bring in some kind of challenge, but later on it's going to become actually good for you, right? Then Sagittarius rising, Sun and Moon, myself a Sagittarius rising. So it's gonna happen for us in our eighth house. Jupiter went over there. You know, Jupiter is not very well situated in the eighth house because it could bring in inheritance or it could bring in shared resources, which is going to make your bank account thicker, but it could come from a divorce or an inheritance, right? So it's coming with some kind of grieving or ending. So that's why not necessarily good. If it's actually going to trine with your sun, or it's going to trine with your any other planet, personal planet, or natal planet, it could create something very positive, right? And but it could bring in, for example, a big amount of money as well. And it could be something to do with tax relief. It could be something to do with trust fund, and obviously inheritance, as I said as well. Or if you had a medical malpractice case, it could bring money right now. But it's also bringing secrets up, right? And it's training your 12th and the fourth house, and it could be some kind of family secret. And then when you're gonna hear about it, you are like, oh my God, is it my family? But also it could be like some kind of trauma therapy and work. Maybe you are getting rid of some kind of self-sabotaging behavior. So if you are using pharmaceuticals or drugs or any kind of numbing, then you are capable to get rid of if it is training. But don't forget, generally it's actually squares with Saturn and Neptune. It could be like maybe your children is going to create some kind of debt for you because of they're gonna break the neighbor's cars, and then you have to pay for it, and it's I don't know, a couple thousands of dollars, because Saturn Neptune is in your fifth house, and that's creates creativity. Maybe a creative project, you want to publish something, and but before that you're not gonna get an advance, and you're going to need to pay $10,000 just to have your work out there, and you have income. Jupiter in eighth house brings income, but you have to invest right away to actually expand something over there. All right. But you can do some kind of therapy work as well. Capricorn rising, sun and moon, it's going to happen in your seventh house. That's the mirror, that's projection of relationship. It's a relationship sacred arena over here. Anything to do with, like, are you performing in your partnership, or finally you are participating? Why are you called? This Cancer moon over here, Cancer wants emotion. Capricorn is like, I'm not ready to give you anything yet. And it is like, if the relationship no longer serves you, it's gonna end within 6 months, most likely. there is, it's asking you to be more vulnerable and to have more commitment. And it could be also like, okay, let's go to mediation, let's go to couple therapy. Uh, let's end the codependency. I don't want to be codependent. I want to renew something. Maybe you actually gonna renew a vow over here, or within half year, actually, you're gonna get married and you're planning the wedding. So it's not necessarily ending. It's also could be like beginning, a new start, a wedding as well. But don't avoid actually to look into the mirror and see yourself. See your authenticity over there because you were avoiding that, right? And you were projecting a lot. So, that's what the new moon asking from you. Aquarius rising sun and moon is going to happen in your sixth house. And sixth has anything to do with, for example, health, work, rental property. Actually, sixth house is soulmate as well. It's your pets, it's your daily routine, it's your colleagues, tenant, and landlord and roommates. All right. So what's gonna happen over here? It's gonna happen like shifting the scheduling. It is like you can adopt a pet. You are capable to leave a job which is silently, draining you. It is like some kind of burnout, and you're going to leave it behind. You can have some kind of digestive issues, and it comes from anxiety, and that one you want to heal and seek for some kind of holistic practitioner most likely, or some kind of like professional over there. But there is going to also be some kind of food ritual could change. You're going to introduce some kind of new diet for yourself, which is really healing your body as well. Actually, try to get away from the tension from overscheduling yourself, right? And you can have a new rental property right now, as I said, new a pet, or maybe a new workout routine. You're gonna sign up to gym, or you're gonna start a new workout, a dance class, for example, because or an art class, and it could also help you to heal. It is matter. It is very, very important. All right, Pisces rising sun and moon, my last Pisces rising. So listen to me. This is happening in your fifth house, right? And fifth house, anything to do with joy and happiness, with creation, sex and children, intimacy, and winning the lottery. So maybe because it's on Jupiter, maybe you are going to win the lottery. You can have a new lover coming into your life. You can have a like flirting with others, but careful, because it could also end a marriage if you are, because Pisces doesn't know boundaries, and Pisces not necessarily know they are flirting, and they seems to be either martyrhood or innocent. My son is in Pisces, as I said. So they and Saturn and Neptune, your ruler, actually conjunct in Aries, and it is like, okay, put some boundaries, woman or man, because that's not gonna work out this way. There you have a lot of secret. Why didn't you tell that to your husband? Maybe, because you feel something else for that person over there. Okay, but fifth house, anything to do with creativity and children. Some of you gonna get pregnant and having a new baby. Some of you going to write something, and finally it feels like it feels like it's not only nurturing your soul, but that is your whole purpose. And by the full moon in Cancer, you're gonna be able to actually publish. You might going to start to dance or learn dancing, or some kind of artwork over here. You can get a new manager, a new agent. You're gonna celebrate joy and happiness, and you will feel like, or celebrate with your children, go for vacation with your children. You're gonna reclaim your childhood here. So it could be amazing, but don't forget, it is opposing Ixion and Hybris. So don't lie to yourself, don't sabotage yourself, don't sabotage your significant other or your children, because you are secretive and you're doing something which you know it's not good, but like, so cheating, for example. And then also it squares with Ati, and it squares with Arachne. So it could be like right now you're writing a historian, amazing book which could come out in half year, and your voice going to be heard. And it's the radical honesty, and that is brutally honesty over there. So yes, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. But also, what else I wanted to tell? I want to do a meditation, and actually, I'm going to change because I created a little. I created that with AI. I went right now to school how to use AI because I'm just not good with that. But I created a little background, and I'm going to show that for you guys over here. And then let me see. So full screen, and then I'm going to uh, have the background. Okay, so adjust background effect, and then okay, so I'm gonna add this, okay, add an image, and then I'm going to do a meditation for you guys. Okay, so maybe this one, let me see. No? Ay, ay, ay. Not this one, wonderful. Ah, no. Okay, sooner or later I'm gonna find it. Okay, new moon meditation, maybe this one. Oh, yes, this one. I love it. And I'm going to cover actually, so you can see. So when I was a little girl, actually I really love dolphins and I love hedgehogs and rabbits and somehow I'm always obsessed with the full moon and with treehouse. And till today, when we're traveling, actually I'm going somehow to houses like tree houses because I truly love that. Okay, let me see right now. How can I put that in exit full screen? All right. And then I would like you to stay with me, guys. And I would like you to put some kind of soft music. And actually, I started to work with my friend Fanny, who is a music instructor and she's a music teacher. And she's creating music for my meditation. So soon you're going to have my music on as well. And I'm gonna do meditations just like meditations if you want to listen anytime. I'm gonna put full moon, new moon meditation and actually remedy meditations up there so you can listen that. If you have a very bad Saturn, Pluto squares or things like that. So at this moment right now, I really would like you to find a comfortable place, anywhere, like where nobody going to bother you. And we're going to actually create a new moon meditation, right? So find a comfortable place now where your body can rest, where your shoulders can drop, where the sky can touch your soul without resistance. Close your eyes or soften your gaze toward the night. Let the breath guide you. Inhale deeply through the nose, exhale gently through the mouth. Let it go, all of it. All the rushing, the needing, the proving. Breathe in calm, breathe out tension. Let your chest rise like a tide and fall like the shy of the sea. Now imagine yourself in a treehouse high above the cliffs, the kind of place that was never built, it was grown. The floor is warm wood wrapped in woven blankets. The windows are wide and the air is sweet with the scent of lilies, jasmine, and fresh cut grass. The sky is indigo, speckled with diamond stars and soft clouds. The Milky Way stretches like a river above you, a promise in the sky. You can hear it, the ocean trembling softly on the rocks below, not crashing, just breathing. The dolphins are jumping in the setting sun. And far out, a whale calls, low, deep, ancient. Let the sound echo inside you, a vibration, a lullaby. A reminder you belong here. Around your treehouse, magical fruit trees sway. Mangoes and bananas and glowing peach-like moons hang heavy from the branches. Deer graze in the wheatgrass below. A family of meadow mice curse into their nest. Butterflies fold their wings on branches. The last birds sing their evening song. Then silence beings bloom. You are not alone here. Everything around you is slowing down, making room for something new. Behind the treehouse stands a Gothic roof temple, its spires kissing the sky. The midnight blue velvet of heavens holds in gently. This is your sanctuary, your place of restoration. The moon is hidden from you, but you can feel her pulsing, like a drum in your chest, a heartbeat in the soil, a whisper in your blood. And now, softly, slowly, call your attention to your heart. Breathe in family, breathe out exile. Breathe in compassion, breathe out resentment. Breathe in belonging, breathe out isolation. Let the breath cleanse what's heavy. Let the breath invite what's holy. This is a new moon, but not the kind that screams change. She's soft portal, a door that only opens when you whisper. Ask yourself, what am I ready to nurture in myself? Where do I need shelter and where can I offer it? What would it mean to feel emotionally safe within my body, within my family, within my dreams? Now call in Jupiter's blessing, expanding besides the moon. Breathe in potential, breathe out fear. Feel the expansion in your belly, your chest, your breath. You are allowed to dream bigger. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to create a new definition of family, home, of belonging. Let something from now, quietly but clearly. A seed, a word, a name, a rhythm. It may be a project, a prayer, a promise. Let it settle softly in your chest, in your heart. Now stay here, my love, because here you are safe. Here you are home. Let your finger in this moment a little longer. The breeze brushes your skin like a kiss from divine. It carries the scent of ripe mango, sweet orange peel, crushed jasmine, and wheatgrass still wet with moonlight dew. You inhale deeply, and for the first time in what feels like forever, you feel your whole body shy. You hear it, gentle rustling. In the tall wheat by the treehouse, a hedgehog family nestles into the roots, seeking shelter for the night. A tiny baby squeaks softly as it finds warmth. A fox pats silently through the underbrush. Two owls call to each other in distance. A family of rabbits curse into their den, twitching ears, soft breath. This is the night remembers how to sleep. Above you, the stars flicker alive, like tiny candles lit by the ancestors. your ancestors. Fireflies blink along the temple's edge, soft gold notes in the dark. You could swear they are spelling out your name. They calling your name. And the Milky Way, my love, it stretches wide like a galaxy-sized lullaby. The ocean below hums, and in the distance you hear another whale call, like the soul of the sea itself is mourning and healing right alongside you. And maybe now your eyes brim. Let them, let them fall. Let your tears trace your journey from your soul to your skin. Let the heartbreak of this hard world melt for just one moment. Because here in this treehouse of breath and memory, the world does not ask you to fix it, it simply invites you to feel, to remember, to soften, to come home to yourself. This right here in this dream your soul keeps having, the one where you are not rushing, where you are not apologizing, where you are surrounded by white creatures and the sky doesn't need your performance, it just wants your presence. And you, sweet one, are allowed to rest. You are allowed to believe again. You are allowed to hope without defense. Because this new moon, it doesn't just plan dreams, it makes space for the dreamer. Breathe in magic, breathe out armor. Stay here, my darling. Stay as long as you need. And when you are ready, you will rise with dirt on your feet, stardust on your skin, and truth in your lungs. The moon will still be here, and so will the sky. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, open your eyes, stretch yourself. Welcome back, my guys. Thank you so much to being here with me, to subscribe, like, and comment below. I appreciate you, all of you. Bye for now.